Attention, this is your captain speaking. I'm Julia Moser.
And I'm Eva Moriale. Prepare for takeoff.
This is I Couldn't Help But Wonder.
The show to get trivia, tips, tricks, and juicy tidbits from all around the world.
Joseph asks, will anyone travel to exotic locations to hunt for our bones in 35 million
Dark.
years?
We're not afraid to go dark on this show. That's right.
No, we're not.
We're not. That's right. We're talking about dinosaurs. Woo!
Were you a Jurassic Park kid, Eva?
Oh my God. I was the Jurassic Park kid. Are you kidding me? It's still my personality now. I have to show you a photo of my graduation cap because I stenciled bones on it and the caption was Clever Girl because I graduated.
Oh, nice.
Cute. Yeah.
Cute.
But yeah, I'm obsessed. Obsessed. The best. Could watch for days on end.
I had not seen Jurassic Park, the movie, until like relatively recently, like in the last like 5 years. So like not like brand new, but like what's funny is because I grew up in LA and when I was growing up, Universal Studios had a buy a day, get a year free deal.
What?
So yeah, I know. Not
Bring
anymore.
that back. What the
I know.
hell?
But so I used to go basically anytime my mom was like busy on the weekends and it was like, Dad's got the kids, we're doing a dad activity because it was free, we'd go to Universal Studios.
Oh.
So I grew up going to Universal Studios all the time. I like could like the tram ride, I know like the back of my head, like I know that ride.
You could lead the tour. Yeah.
But you'd also for the Jurassic Park ride, they had a single rider line. So me and my sister would just get in the single rider line and just go. You didn't really have to wait. We could just go on again and again and again and again. So I had been on the Jurassic Park ride.
So you'd experienced Jurassic Park.
But when I watched the movie, I was like, oh my God, that's from the ride.
This is reminding me of that Kamala meme. It's like, there's some education that needs to be being done. Yeah.
Yes,
this is making me short circuit because I am obsessed with Jurassic Park. Also just dinosaurs in general. Like you didn't watch Land Before Time and get traumatized as a child?
Yeah. I mean, I like dinosaurs. Like I love, going to a natural history museum. Yeah. Should we talk about later? We're going to be speaking.
Yes.
We actually got to go to the Natural History Museum.
Yes, there was a field trip in this episode. It was incredible. Oh
yeah,
my God.
You guys are going to get to hear our interview with an actual paleontologist.
And see some stuff from behind the scenes. It was to die for.
Have you seen fossils anywhere in your travels?
I mean, honestly, my biggest experience was when I moved to LA. I did a road trip with my then boyfriend. Who is also extinct, but and
because he's now your husband, not because he's dead.
No, I didn't move here with Travis. No, I met Travis here. Thank the Lord. I was rescued. I was safe. He's my Jeff Goldblum. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, bless you. No, we do have a husband now, though. That's very exciting. This is hilarious. With my ex, we went to there's a lot of dino dig sites in Utah, and we took the northernmost route. So there, but always been obsessed. Been to a lot of natural history museums. I mean, the New York Natural History Museum is phenomenal, very exciting. But here, one of my biggest experiences with up close and personal is La Brea tar pits, which is so cool that we have in LA.
I feel like I bring up this trip on a lot of our episodes because it's sort of the last big trip that I did, this Wyoming road trip. And that trip was so weirdly, I know multiple paleontologists.
Weirdly, you just collected them.
I do. Well, it's what happens when you date a scientist.
There you go.
One of his paleontologist friends was getting married, and he runs the Carter County Museum in Ekalaka, Montana.
So cool.
But the wedding was not Montana. The wedding was in Wyoming, and then we did a whole big trip about it. But there are all same thing. There's dinosaur dig sites, so we went to a couple of dinosaur museums. We saw fossils. When I studied abroad in Edinburgh, there are dinosaur footprints on the Isle of Skye.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a picture of my foot in the dinosaur foot.
Your little teeny foot. Yes. I love that. Yeah, I'd love to see more dig sites and live out the fantasy, right? Because I feel like every 90s girl, I mean, I went through all the stages. Lisa Frank girl, horse girl, kind of still both. What is happening? I have a Mac and balloons are coming up. What is happening? You do certain hand gestures and things just happen. But yeah, definitely a dinosaur girl. Wanted to be a paleontologist based solely alone on Jurassic Park and not my aptitude for science.
Listen,
it's never too late.
If you could look anything like Laura Dern does in those
while
shorts
digging through shit, while literally digging through poop, crazy, obsessed,
dream job.
Dream job. Shall we get into our episode?
Let's get into it. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, you will hear our interview with an actual paleontologist.
From the Museum of Natural History.
Yes, Dr. Hank Woolley, I should say his name.
Woo!
And we're back with another dynamite guest.
Today we were talking to Dr. Hank Woolley. He's a paleontologist and National Science Foundation postdoctoral research fellow in the Dinosaur Institute at the Natural History Museum of LA County. Hank, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is so great. Oh my gosh. Thanks for coming by the museum. Really excited to be on this show.
We have a friend here.
Yes. Yes. I know.
For those of us on audio who don't have visuals, can you tell us who's joining us today?
Yeah. So who's joining us today? We have this is a replica of a juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex skull right next to Julia over here, and he's smiling for the camera, and it's one of the really cool aspects of paleontology is getting to show off fossils like these.
So. What a cutie.
Yeah.
Harold, we decided? Yes.
Harold. Yes, yeah. Harold.
What are these old man names?
We could crowdsource this name too.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, so how did you get into dinosaurs?
Yeah, great question. I think like many of us as kids, I got to go to my local natural history museum, which was in Denver, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and loved dinosaurs and was obsessed with them. But I didn't know that this was everybody wants to be a paleontologist, but you don't often get exposed and get to meet real paleontologists. And so when I went to high school, just kind of thought about other things and other careers, and it wasn't until graduating from college that I went back to the Denver Museum of Nature and Science and began volunteering in their education collections. And in the education collections, they had dinosaur fossils, and that re-sparked this kid-like imagination.
Childlike wonder.
Childlike wonder, exactly.
Because you were a history major, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like really far back history.
It's old, very old history.
Yeah, very old history. Yes. And I think that's what's so great is our rocks that preserve fossils are essentially a history textbook of everything that's happened in Earth history. So
cool.
That's part of what I do now as a scientist is understand this history that the Earth records for us.
Yeah, for the listeners, I know Hank, my boyfriend Kenny is friends with Hank, and when Kenny explained to me your research, I was like, I was also a history major.
Yeah.
You have like a history major approach.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about your research?
Yeah, totally. Well, I like to think about kind of broader processes in terms of how does the fossil record that the Earth gives us, which is incomplete, how good is that incomplete information when we're trying to use fossils to understand broader evolutionary processes through time, evolutionary relationships, emergence of lineages, divergence of lineages, diversification, and then of course mass extinction events. How does an incomplete record bias and/or help us when we try to uncover these patterns and these mysteries? It's kind of like a broad scale murder mystery for all of you true crime folks out there.
Dino SVU.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Nice. That's great.
So we're a travel podcast. So tell us about some of the places you've traveled to find dinosaurs.
Right. I think one of the other attractive things for me about paleontology as a career is it's a really unique opportunity to travel for work. I have been, and particularly if you like camping, it's a really great opportunity to go out to these remote desert landscapes where rocks are exposed. There's not vegetation that sort of obscures the rocks that you find fossils in. Go on hikes and uncover fossils that nobody else in the world has ever looked at and found before. So that's sort of being on the edge of discovery constantly, and being outdoors is really cool. Now, I will say it's not just the kind of camping and outdoors stuff that paleontologists get to do. We get to go to museums a lot, and there are museums and collections of fossils all over the world that are really important data points for our science. And so we also get to travel to really important collections on all continents that helps us understand Earth history and biodiversity through time.
When you say all continents, you mean all continents.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. All of them. And yeah, no matter where you go, there are fossils to be found, and fossils that have been collected. And for instance, one of the great privileges of my career has been I've been able to go down to Antarctica to uncover fossils and sort of camp on a glacier and get helicoptered up to mountaintops every day and find 250 million year old vertebrate fossils that are really important. Just A, because Antarctica is cool, but B, because they tell a really unique story about really polar ecosystems that are much different from today. For instance, Antarctica was not covered in ice when these fossils were alive. So they're living in polar environments, but they're not experiencing the same sort of environmental climatic conditions that you think of with like penguins and polar bears today. So how are they living differently when you have vegetation on the ground, for instance? And so every time you find one of these fossils, your imagination again gets to run wild, just like you are a kid.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, quick sidebar. I've heard the Drake Passage is the worst.
Yeah.
And for those that are unfamiliar, the Drake Passage is a body of water or area of water that you have to pass through in order to get to Antarctica from South America. So what was that like?
Yeah, so I'm lucky and I got to avoid the Drake Passage. So my route to Antarctica was taking a plane from Los Angeles to Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, so
across the Pacific, Auckland to Christchurch, New Zealand. And Christchurch is actually home to a lot of different Antarctic programs. United States Antarctic programs, a lot of European Antarctic programs, as well as New Zealand's and Australia's Antarctic programs. And so from Christchurch, you then take a plane, 7-hour flight, down to McMurdo Station, which is on a kind of ice-locked, most of the time, islands, where that's the largest U.S. base in Antarctica. You land on the sea ice in these planes, and from there, take another plane into the central Transantarctic Mountains, another 3-hour plane ride, and you land on a mountain glacier.
That's crazy. I don't think I realized how big it was.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, Antarctica roughly is the size of the contiguous United States or Australia. And it's entirely covered in ice, very little, if any, vegetation. But it has this rock record that preserves a variety of different environments that help us learn about how our planet's changed through time.
So cool. It's like
I think it's pretty cool.
I know, we're just shook. It's like Indiana Jones vibes. This is insane. Okay, so there are places that regular people can go to hunt for dinosaur fossils. What should they be prepared for? What should they look out for?
Yeah.
What should they do?
Yeah, so to look for dinosaur bones here in the United States on public lands, you need a permit. You need to be usually affiliated with an accredited institution. So you can be volunteering. You don't have to have a PhD, but you probably want to be with somebody who has a PhD or an advanced degree. Through museums, through a local college or university.
Yeah, when I was in Wyoming last year, we did one of the Wyoming Dinosaur Center.
Yeah,
I want to say they have we didn't make our reservations far enough in advance.
Yeah, right.
Go look.
Totally. Yeah. So
Really
I mean,
cool.
You don't need a PhD to go out and hunt for dinosaur fossils. That's what's really cool. You can be super, super remote where you driving dirt roads for a really, really long time, and then camping, and there's no cell service or whatever, and you're out, like really out there. You can also, it depends on what part of the country you're in, but like for instance, Denver, where I'm from, there's dinosaur bones that are found in the metro area. So where there's construction sites, and boom, you find a horned dinosaur from 65 million years ago. So dinosaur fossils are everywhere. Fossils from other kinds of animals are everywhere. But even if they're common, they're super scientifically valuable. So we always want to, if you find a bone, call your local museum.
Yes.
Call your local museum, or the museum that's local to the area that you find a bone in. And make sure it's a fossil. There are often other kinds of bones out there.
What are you finding?
Well, I would say like deer. I'm thinking like deer bones and things like that. Don't get too exact. Don't read into it too much. But hopefully you're not finding human bones or anything like that.
This is not a haunted travel episode.
Yes,
people.
exactly. But if you're certain it's a fossil, call up your local museum. People are always happy to take a look at these things, send photos to your curators or whatever, and it could be a really valuable data. So
fun, so cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Julia?
Okay, should we play some trivia?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, I'll start us off. Question number 1. This iconic dino-related roadside attraction featured in Pee-wee's Big Adventure was nearly revamped into a creationist museum after its original owner sold the property in 2005. Is it A, the Barbizon dinosaurs, B, the Cabazon dinosaurs, C, the Zion dinosaurs, or D, the Alphanon dinosaurs?
Well, I think I've been to this place. Is it the Cabazon dinosaurs?
Is.
Okay, yay, awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So actually, they were passing out creationist material. So
Yeah,
a dinosaur museum with
creationist.
No.
Okay.
The original owners did not build it with that. They sold it around 2005, and the current owners, they're still the owners, but they basically got laughed out of town. Like, people were like, "You can't put creationist material in this." But yeah, I love that stop. For our listeners, you can see it really easily if you're going from LA or the Southern California area to Palm Springs. You can always pass it on that route.
And you can stop for those incredible, the Native American tacos.
Yes.
What are those
crazy
coyote tacos?
Oh, crazy
Oh
coyote.
my
You have to
gosh.
look up the hours because they're weird hours, but it's right near the outlet mall.
Oh, delicious. Just stops galore. This is a whole road
It's
trip
like
for
Crazy
you.
Coyote or something like that.
Yeah.
Great taco.
Delicious.
On the Morongo Reservation, I
Oh,
think.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
Hit
great.
the casino.
Nice.
It's a good time for all.
Right.
It's
I
most
think
of
one
the
of the
outlet malls that I'm
isn't one of the dinosaurs named Large Marge?
I think so.
Oh,
That
shoot.
feels right.
Large
That's
Marge.
so
Okay,
cute.
nice.
From the movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, you're killing it
Okay,
so
sweet.
far.
Okay, good.
Okay, question number 2. Which Hawaiian island, nicknamed the Garden Isle, served as most of the backdrop for the original background shots in Jurassic Park?
Kauai.
Oh! yeah, you got it. We were gonna go with the choice.
I might have watched a lot of Jurassic Park.
He's a doctor.
Okay, I've been watching the Apple TV show that's the Prehistoric Planet,
So
which
fun.
is so fun. But it makes me laugh because it's all CGI, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have footage of
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Of dinosaurs doing stuff. Yeah, exactly.
But it's like it's done the way that Planet Earth is done, where
Yeah.
there's like plots and
Yeah.
stuff. Which
I
means
love that.
People had to like write it.
I
It's
love
intriguing.
It. Yeah,
Well,
and they have to literally write it. That's, I mean, we've gotten to interact with some of the folks who worked on that show.
way.
And actually, a former grad student here, Kirsten Formoso, she's now a postdoc at Rutgers. She worked on it.
She's
and
like a
as
tiny
consult-
head in it.
as a
I've never
consultant.
been so excited.
Oh
when I
my
saw
God,
it.
that is
And
so cool.
anyway, check out her science. It's awesome. She studies how things went from land to sea and why they swim the way they swim. So like whales and mosasaurs and things like that.
Whoa.
So mosasaurs are featured heavily, but yeah, you get to work with like this whole production crew of not just nature documentary filmmakers who are there,
Yeah.
but also writers.
Oh my
writing
God.
scripts.
Animators.
Yeah.
What a cool job.
Yeah, cool
job. Question number 3.
All right.
Brill Cream Hairstyling Lotion's signature slogan, "A little dabble do ya," led to the omnipresent catchphrase featured on this long-running animated series.
Whoa.
A little dabble do ya?
A little dabble do ya?
A little dabble do ya?
I'm stumped. I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. The answer
keep
is
going. You gotta
a little dabble do ya. A little dabble do ya.
Yabba dabba doos. It's Flintstones.
Yes. We got there.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for the hint. That's great. That is awesome. That's so funny. Oh my god. Really?
No.
Is that the origin of that?
Yes. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's really interesting.
What were the dinosaurs in the Flintstones?
There's Dino.
Okay, yes.
Who's like the dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember any.
I think I just remember Dino.
I just remember Dino, who's like purple dinosaur, and that was their dog. And then he works at a construction site, which is cute.
Yeah.
And there's like a bird that's their mailbox or something.
Oh yeah,
right?
like the
pterodactyl
whistle
or whatever.
Yeah, the whistle. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, longest
Incredible.
running animated series, only second to The Simpsons.
Wow.
All right, question 4. The recently publicly dunked on Drake is a super fan of this Toronto basketball team,
Nice.
the only Canadian team in the NBA league.
Yeah.
Do we need to give you a multiple choice?
No.
Okay.
It's the Raptors.
Yes!
Yes, exactly.
Why are they the Raptors? Is there a dinosaur connection there?
Yeah, do you know that? I have no idea.
I actually don't know, but I think, I can't remember when the team was founded, but I think it was right in the early 90s, right when Jurassic Park was coming out.
Oh, that's cute.
And there were
That
a lot
tracks.
of really amazing Canadian dinosaur fossils being named at the time. And so maybe that has something to do with it, but don't quote me on that.
How does dinosaur fossil naming work? Like, if you discover
Yeah.
it, do you get to name it?
So it's actually a really long, drawn-out process. It takes years.
Yeah.
It can take years. So, for instance, here at our museum, we have this new wing opening up called the NHM Commons, where we have this big green dinosaur going on display nicknamed Gnatalie. We think it's a new species of dinosaur, of long-necked dinosaur. It's like 70 feet long. And it's from discovery to fossil preparation to doing all the science needed to kind of understand its anatomy and evolutionary relationships and what it's similar to and what it's different from. 15 years at least. So
okay.
it's a long time.
Yeah.
And so you need to have a lot of patience to name something like a big dinosaur like that.
Yeah.
And it takes usually depends on what kind of a dinosaur you're looking at, but if there's more material, to study and describe, and that takes a long time. And this is a lot of bones.
Yeah.
So.
You're 4 for 4, baby.
Oh man. All right. This is awesome. All right.
Ready? Okay, 5th question. Visit Utah's site has a handy and adorably kid-friendly 7-day itinerary that treks visitors across the state to all its many dino destinations.
Yeah.
What is Utah's state dinosaur called? This is multiple choice. Let's check out. Utah Dilophosaurus.
Oh.
Utah Parasaurus. Utah Susiosaurus, or Utah Raptor Ostracomaeorum.
I think it's Utah Raptor Ostracomaeorum.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
I butchered that pronunciation. It's very difficult.
That's awesome.
But yes,
it was a close one between that and Allosaurus. I just can't remember. That might be the state dinosaur.
No way.
Yeah, so they might have a state fossil. And
It
dinosaur.
says their state dinosaur is the raptor one.
They have state fossils and state dinosaurs?
Yeah, so
That's
California
crazy.
does. So here's some good trivia.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yes. Yeah, give it to us.
This is exciting.
What do you think is California's state fossil?
Oh.
It would be
would you like
aquatic,
a hint?
right?
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
Oh, that's so
It's
true.
an LA resident. LA.
Is it a woolly mammoth?
Ooh, you're close.
Okay.
God, I don't know. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm stressed. God.
I'm thinking about what's at the La Brea Tar Pits. I'm thinking
That's
about
true.
like giant sloth.
Well, what?
Saber-tooth tiger.
Yeah.
Yes. Saber-tooth
Charades,
cat.
baby.
Yep. Saber-tooth cat. Yeah, exactly. Charades. That's good. It's like a Monty Python.
Yeah.
Sharp, pointy teeth.
my God.
So yeah, Smilodon fatalis, saber-tooth cat is California state fossil. We also have a state dinosaur.
That was my little bit of trivia for you.
So
not that you don't already know.
What's our state dinosaur?
The Augustophilus morrisi?
What
something?
is
Yeah,
that?
Augustinophilus morrisi.
Thank you for translating.
Yeah, and it's a duck-billed dinosaur.
Oh, those
like
those
those.
duck birds scared the shit out of me. You know, it's the big blue one. You know which ones I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, totally.
Woo!
Yeah,
Terrifying.
So this thing, but they're inferred to be herbivorous mostly, and this one, Augustin Alophus had this cool kind of crest, like a kind of rod sticking out of its head, and it's on display downstairs in our dinosaur hall.
Cool. Whoa, we gotta go check it out after this.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So cool.
So yeah, we have a state fossil and a state dinosaur.
Hell yeah.
So
you killed.
Awesome.
You murdered that.
5 out of 5.
Wow.
5 out of 5.
We're gonna get you a prize. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes. Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Excellent job. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, it's time to dig into this week's quandary. Okay, so am I the asshole that if Jurassic Park were real, I would tell my husband that he cannot go? He said that he would be careful and to be sure to mitigate risks. I'm surprised he thinks this, as I know he has seen all the movies, and the movies totally showed that the safety measures always worked out great, and dinosaurs never ate or harmed anyone in any of the movies! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Am I the asshole for being controlling, or are there some situations where it's okay to insist your husband not do life-threatening activities? If there are such situations where the line is drawn, what about skydiving and riding motorcycles?
You know what I like about this quandary?
What?
We're a travel podcast.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I think it's important as we think about like the ethics of
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could get into the whole like morality. Like I'm, very much on feminist TikTok. And there's this whole idea that in a lot of like straight marriages, men are always like pushing themselves and like going to the brink of things and dragging their wives along with them. And it's often for, life risking activities like, falling out of a plane. And
okay, would you let your husband
No. No. First of all, let's talk about the expense. Let's go to Bermuda instead. Like, what are we talking about?
Yep.
Also, no, like nothing is truly no activity is worth your life. Like, let's calm down.
Would you go to Jurassic Park?
I think there'd be a lot of ethics questions involved.
Yeah.
You're ruining a pristine island probably to accommodate extinct creatures that went extinct millions and millions of years ago.
That's Jeff Goldblum's point in the first one. They had their time.
Yeah.
And they
I
didn't
love
make
Jeff
it.
Goldblum.
I love
it. So
we love a Goldblum.
Yeah.
Malcolm Ian, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I'm a Jurassic Park super fan.
Yeah.
The first one, Spielberg all the way.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I think that alone would give me pause in terms of is this something that I want to support financially?
Yeah. How much do you think those tickets cost?
Yeah. Plus, like, can I afford this?
People are like mortgaging their home. Here's the thing. Through my job, I've traveled to like crazy places and done certain experiences, but hotels alone, like, there's some very bougie hotels that get up to like $3,000, $4,000 a night, and they're like in California. So they could charge. Here's the thing: they also point out in the first movie, we can charge whatever we want.
Yeah,
so you're like mortgaging
trapped.
your home to possibly die. It's not that serious.
Right.
We don't need to see the dinosaurs.
There's been 6 movies.
Have we not learned the lesson?
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
Okay, but do we think that this lady is an asshole? I think
No.
Reddit
She loves
said
her.
yes. Reddit said she was too controlling.
See,
I disagree with.
Well, it all goes back to the ethics of like men pushing the boundaries for like I'm gonna go to. You know what? It posits a question I think of often, and I oftentimes ask this to straight men. But there's that thing of like men go beyond their limits, like they can't even fathom a world where they wouldn't be able to do something and survive. So you ask a woman this question, like, if a plane were going down, could you get in the cockpit and steer the plane to safety? And you ask a woman, a woman has that reaction. You ask a man, and a lot of men are like, yeah, sure.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah. There's only like 1,000 buttons. I can just figure it out.
I just hit cruise control. Like, I guess I'm getting on my sassy horse about this, but this woman needs a prenup and a divorce stat.
Yeah.
You know what? A post-nup and a divorce stat because her husband's insane.
I also like this question because they were fighting about it for like
Oh, of course.
Right, for her to go to Reddit and ask it in Am I the Asshole, that they were this was a contentious argument.
And
there probably was some other
comments,
semi-related, more realistic discussions going on.
Methinks so.
And Jurassic Park's just a metaphor.
Yeah.
For the relationship. Well,
no judgment though.
Hank, you are not the asshole.
Thank you.
No.
You have been a fantastic guest. We're so grateful. What an incredible experience to come here to the Natural History Museum.
Oh, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
So fun.
Where can the people find you and your work? And
is
there anything you want to plug?
Well, I mean, I would say that, I think if you're in the LA area or if you're traveling in LA, we have, if you want to see a dinosaur, on public display for free, we'll be opening up the NHM Commons, our brand new wing of the museum in mid-November this year. If you're interested in lizards and fossil reptiles, I often publish little posts on Instagram. You can follow me at Paleo Hank, and that's more niche than dinosaurs, but
I like lizards. Lizards are cute.
Lizards are the best.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Love a lizard.
Well, that brings us to the end of another I Couldn't Help But Wonder. Thank you, Hank, for joining us.
Thank you.
You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts or at circatravel.com. That is CERCA travel.com.
That's also where you can get Circa's audio guides to your favorite destinations like Barcelona, Paris, Rome, all written and voiced by locals.
And if you have a moment, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps people find our show.
You can find me at Julia Moser with 4 R's on Twitter, Instagram, and with 5 R's on TikTok.
And you can follow my online and in real life adventures at Eva Pams on Instagram.
Thanks for listening and happy wandering.
Happy wandering! Enjoy.